Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting for the Council for the Town of Petawawa to order for March 16th, 2026. Welcome to members of Council, staff, and our special guest with us this evening. We'll begin this evening with the land acknowledgement, and this evening it's Councillor Roots.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As we gather this evening, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of the Petawawa Town Council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Omamani Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Omamani people and express our respect and our support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years, and we wish to acknowledge our shared responsibilities in responding to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission 94 calls to action. Calls to action number 90. We call upon the federal government to ensure that the national sports policies, programs, and initiatives are inclusive of Aboriginal peoples. Recent progress in 2023-2024 Sports Support Program Guidelines, a section of reconciliation initiatives was added under the Programs and Services block to ensure their initiatives with the goal of advancing reconciliation are listed as eligible activities and expenses for reference level funding. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Roots. And now I'd ask if everybody in attendance would please join me in standing for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you very much. I need a motion to approve this evening's agenda. Moved by Councillor Carmody, seconded by Deputy Mayor Sabrin, that the agenda for the March 16th, 2026 regular meeting of Council be adopted as presented. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Votes carried. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest on any of this evening's matters? And we have some minutes to approve. The minutes for the Council meeting of March 2nd, 2026. I need a motion to approve those minutes. Moved by Councillor Coutu, seconded by Councillor Donovan, that the minutes of the regular meeting of Council held March 2nd, 2026 be approved as printed and circulated. Any comments, concerns on the minutes? I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. And that brings us to our first of two presentations this evening. First up, we have a request for regulated road access for off-road motorcycles. I'd like to welcome Lisa Thompson of the Ontario Federation of Trail Riders. Welcome to the chambers, and we're looking forward to your presentation.
Yeah. Thank you, and thank you all for allowing me to be here tonight. I appreciate it. So I'm here today to request for regulated access for off-road motorcycles. We're seeking limited access. It's modeled after the existing ATV permissions that you have in place. We're focused on connectivity, not unrestricted riding, and it's intended for designated routes only. This is about getting riders from their homes to the trails safely. We're not asking for opening of roads of any type. So the Ontario Federation of Trail Riders was founded in 1992, and our mission was to support responsible trail riding in the province. We have 14 active clubs right here in Ontario, and one of our clubs, our local clubs, is Valley Trail Riders, and they've been in the community for just over 2 years. Our core demographic right now is between 38 and 62 years old. These are professional members of the community. Everything from lawyers, doctors, CIOs, firemen, police officers, etc. Our members have influence and purchasing power, and they have a strong commitment to stewardship. We have responsible riders. All of our riders use trail bikes, not high-performance motocross bikes. Many of the bikes are quiet, stock, trail-oriented bikes. We ask them to have their bikes under a certain decibel rating, but in them we have educated people when we find that their bikes are too loud. We, even on some of our trail patrols in some places in the province, we can come with extra packing, and we ask them to repack their bikes properly. There is also a growing number of electric off-road motorcycles. I myself own a Sur-Ron, and it is virtually quiet. All you hear is the sound of the train, of the chain, I apologize. And they're actually growing in popularity. All of our riders are members of an organized trail network, the trail systems and the clubs. So here, most people either choose Valley Trail Riders or Bytown Association, which is down a little bit further south, but a majority of our members up here are all Valley Trail Rider members. The image that a lot of people have of loud, aggressive bikes doesn't reflect our trail riding community, especially with the electric bikes increasing every year. One thing to know is that all of our bikes need to be insured and plated. They need to be under 96 decibels, which are comparable and often quieter than many ATVs or snowmobiles. Trail bike engines are smaller and lower RPMs than road motorcycles. And again, with the electric bikes, they operate with almost zero noise. And just note, a lot of trail bikes are actually quieter than gas-powered leaf blowers. So we're also asking for reasonable operating hours. Many of our townships in this province, they have specific hours that you can access the trails. For example, some areas are 8 a.m. till 10 p.m., which aligns with a lot of common municipal noise bylaws. It prevents late night riding or early morning riding. So we're looking for a controlled but enforceable model. We only want designated roads, as you have with your existing bylaw in place for ATVs. The sound compliance for us is under 96 decibels. You, as I mentioned, have to have a valid plate and insurance. All of our members, they have to be insured, they need to be plated, and they have to have an OFTR permit. We require all the gear all the time. So some of the gear, of course, is helmets and safety gear as required. And then again, we mentioned the time of use restrictions is something that the council could put in place, and enforcement aligned with existing ATV bylaws. We are not asking for an exception, we're just asking to be included under clear rules. Why this benefits Petawawa? It encourages legal, predictable rider behavior. It supports tourism and local business. As we know, there's a focus for people in Ontario to stay in the province, and we're trying to push a lot of staycations. This is a great place for people to visit, bring in tourism, and have access to be able to ride from, let's say, the hotel to the trail. This also keeps recreation organized and accountable. If you have a complaint, you know you can come to the OFTR and we can look into it. This also allows local residents to enjoy the trails without having to truck and trailer their bikes to the trail network. One of the things that we hear from our members is, trying to find parking, bring them the big truck and trail when they're in the community, just to be able to go and ride from their home to the trail makes sense. Recently, I did a presentation in Perth, and one of the local motorcycle dealership owners said that he uses the rail trail to go to work because it's safer than having to travel along Highway 7. And we do know a lot of people in this community do use the Algonquin Trail to commute. When access is legal, riders comply. We've been working for a long time to get access throughout the province, and our riders do not want that access to get taken away. So when legal access is not around, it does become harder to enforce. Right now, there's a rapid growth for electric vehicles, as I mentioned a few times. Again, it has extremely low noise, they're environmentally friendly, they have the same footprint as a traditional bike. One of the really good things about electric bikes, that if you guys want to go shopping, is the insurance actually comes, you can get theft and fire. You can't get theft a lot of the time on existing off-road motorcycles because they're a high theft item, just note. But anyway, we're embracing electronic technology because it's still, it's going to sustain a quieter future in the sport, and it does help diminish some of the complaints that a lot of communities have. Like in Southern Ontario, we have a big truck trail network in Simcoe County, and as urban sprawl continues to grow, having these electric bikes out there decreases the amount of complaints the neighbors get. So throughout Ontario, we already know that a lot of municipalities already permit road access for off-road vehicles, especially off-road motorcycles. More and more municipalities are starting to these their bylaws. After the province changed the rules and they allowed off-road vehicles on the side of the road, we know that a lot of municipalities either had ATV policies, but they weren't updated to the new term of ORVs. So that's something a whole lot of municipalities are updating on right now. Right now, access is provided under both, under your local bylaws. So all we're asking again is to be similar to the ATV regulations that you have right now. And these communities that we have been working with have demonstrated that regulated access does work. Petawawa would not be creating something new. You'd be aligning with existing municipal practices throughout the province. We already have a proven shared use trail management. Trails are already shared between off-road vehicles, so ATVs, motorcycles, and off-road jeeps, hikers, dog walkers, cyclists. We also share a lot of our trails with equestrians. With that, we do have rules and trail etiquette. One of the trail etiquette rules that we enforce strictly is when you see an equestrian, you take off your helmet, you shut off your bike, you do it for proper instruction. So shared use is managed through posted signage, speed moderation, so speed limit, of course, trail etiquette, as I mentioned, and time of use guidelines where applicable. Successful shared models are established and throughout the province, and it works. So the other thing that's very important, we have trail wardens, we have club representatives, and as riders are educated to yield to pedestrians, reduce speed when they're passing others, and respect trail users and private property. We, as a trail organization and our clubs, we like to promote safe riding practices, respectful shared use, and of course, environmental stewardship. Trail riders are not separate from the community. They are residents, they are families, and they are volunteers, and they would just like to share the same outdoor spaces. So as I conclude, our request is to please allow off-road motorcycles to have the same road access consideration as you offer to the ATVs. Through this, we can implement clear notice bylaws, or time of use, or designated routes, and we can work collaboratively with the township, with our local club, and with other riders. Again, we're just asking for regulated access, not unrestricted access. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that presentation. And I compliments to whoever did your graphic work.
That would be AI.
Just a couple of things for clarification before I open it up for questioning. The Algonquin Trail right now does permit off-road motorcycles as part of it.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure about that. And just in terms of cost, you mentioned there's a membership for your club. There's an OFTR membership, and also a cost to use Algonquin Trail, K&P Trail. So just for clarification, are somebody on one of these off-road motorcycles, is there 3 fees?
No, so we have a provincial-wide pass. So how it works is there's the OFTR portion, and then you choose your first club, and you only have to choose one club, but you can choose as many as you want, because the trail funding that goes to the club goes to trail maintenance, or it goes to, and also a big chunk of it is insurance. And so there's not a fee to access the Algonquin Trail. We have an agreement with the county that we pay a certain amount of money, but that comes out of the OFTR. So there's only one fee as an OFTR member, and that gets spread between the club and the organization.
Okay, thanks. I'll open it up to council for questions. Councilor Kutu.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you so much for your presentation. So some things that I have to say, one is way back in the day when we were talking about the ATV bylaw, I had a number of concerns, and I just want to report, thanks to the hard work of staff, I think that my concerns related to the road condition, related to safety of our roads, those have been dealt with, and thanks to the compliance of our residents, really there have not been any traffic issues or accident issues. So for myself, I'm happy to admit that, you know, this might be the next evolution, and this should be actually the next evolution of our outdoor recreational vehicle bylaw. Pardon me. And one of the reasons is I think that Petawawa has done a great job so far, and we should continue to do a good job of supporting the local outdoor recreation economy. So that's going strong here. This is a way to lower the barrier to participation for a large number of residents who might not have towing capacity, like you say, and it will take the pressure too off some of our parking points near the trails. So I'm very much in favor of having staff provide a report to council, much as we did for the ATV bylaw, and just consider what might be the friction points or what would be other issues that we should smooth out. But this has my full support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Root?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you so much for the presentation. I have to agree totally with Councillor Coutu, and I think the more we offer to the people to use the trail and all have respect for each other, there's going to be rules and guidelines that you put out here, the noise barriers and all the rules and licenses and insurance. Why not? Why not? And the more we offer people, the safer it is. Make everyone comply by the rules and regulations. Why not? Thank you.
Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Sadler?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too am in agreement with moving forward to see how practical this is and what an implementation plan could look like. We do have a lot of folks that have approached me over the last year or so that it's when with the off-road motorcycles. So now hopefully I have an answer to say we're looking at it, but whether we look at it in the same vein as we did with ATVs, as in certain areas will start first and graduate and whatnot. I think the point is that we need to look at moving forward. So really appreciate the presentation and moving this forward. And just one quick question, if I could, Lisa. How many members do you have in your Valley Trail Riders, please?
Thank you. We have, I believe...
71.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm growing.
The voice from beyond. Other questions or comments? Concerns? I have a question just about the definition of a valid plate.
So we have two different plates. There's the blue plates, which are the on-road vehicle plates, which of course they can drive anywhere. But then there's the green off-road plates, which is exactly the same as the ATV. They're just registered to an off-road motorcycle.
Okay. And you mentioned that other municipalities have implemented these rules and regulations. If you can, give me one example of a municipality and maybe the results of having that openness policy there.
So I can give you an example. Simcoe County, ESSA, they allow off-road vehicles on the sides of the road, and they have an actually time of restriction as well. They're supposed a little bit earlier. I believe they're supposed to 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then also Clearview Township in Simcoe County. Then if we want to stay in this area, I know that I've been working closely with some of the other southern townships as well to get more access. Oh my gosh, then in the Port Lakes area, there's you're allowed to access the sides of the roads there. Then there is Algonquin, South Algonquin as well. You allow, I'm sorry, there's quite a few. I can't name them all off right now, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Might be easier for you to don't, but yeah.
And I hate to throw another one at you, but do you have an example of a more urban, Petawawa's 20,000 people now, and we have a larger urban footprint, roads with curbs and sidewalks. Is there an example of a community like that, more like us, sidewalks, curbs, urban footprint that has this type of allowance?
Yes, so in the Kawartha Lakes area, I believe north of Famine Falls, there's some areas that you're allowed to ride. Again, there's certain roadways that you're not allowed to ride in. Teeswater is one of them. That there's roads in towns and that you can use the roads to access. We've actually just we're working right now with Kincardine as well. They just allowed green plates on the side of the roads there. And we're working, hopefully we'll have something very shortly in the town of Listowel as well. They're working on finalizing green plates there. ESSA does have some bigger areas, towns like Cookstown, for example. I don't know exactly how many people that are there now, but they're one of the ones that allow it. Green Place on a whole, the state beach does. People take their ATV students almost drive through. So yeah, there's quite a few. They're growing, especially with more people, the cost of gas, but accessing the trails and tourism, especially in areas that have a lot of cottages.
Thanks, Councillor Kern.
Thank you, Mayor Service. Thanks, Lisa, for your presentation tonight. And I'm sure one of the major concerns that most municipalities would have would be the noise level. But when you think about it, really, you see Harleys go by, like, I mean, the noise level is probably louder than most off-road bikes. And for that matter, I've seen some trucks that are pretty loud too, but guys, I like with their loud trucks. But I would certainly be in favor of the staff report and possibly followed by a pilot program for something similar to what we did with the ATVs, phased approach, see if it's going to work, and go from there. Thank you.
Thank you. And just to add to that about the noise, we are big about educating. We do have sound testing equipment, but we do go to people who have loud bikes and say, you can't do this, you need to leave. And we have kicked people off. And again, we have brought repacking for some people, but other people we just tell them to leave if they can't be out there.
So just a question, and you say we ask them to leave and we catch them with loud. Does your club have a patrol group that goes out and monitors members of your club?
We do have volunteers, and then we see other riders. They will go and they'll stop them. But even as I mean they, it's actually our community. So our community really is good at policing each other, especially if they see somebody not doing something they're not supposed to be doing. We've actually had people report people doing like trespassing. They've gotten their license plate numbers and they've let us know, and we've sent the OPP to follow up and check them the trespass charge.
Oh, that's good to hear. Councillor Dunn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Lisa, for the presentation. It was very interesting. I'm in full support of it. I made one assumption while I was reading through it, based on the fact that it listed that it needs to be licensed. So individuals need to be over the age of 16 to be operating it.
Our rules right now with Renfrew County is that anybody accessing the the Algonquin Trail have to either have an M2 or a G2, so it's not even just 16. Some areas in the province where you can ride your trail, they ride trails and there's no specific age requirement, but for us in the agreement that we have with Renfrew County, which we have documented on our trail maps, is that they need to be, again, M2 or G2.
Thank you. I appreciate the clarity.
Councillor Driscoll.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no problem with this. Not having ATVs is definitely not an issue for me. The one thing though, and we were talking about how you're policing and, you know, what if someone doesn't want to buy a trail pass? Like, or be part of your group. I mean, you can't police people that aren't part of your own group, right? So, but again, I have no problem with it. You know, I'm fine with it, so, yes.
To answer that, the OPP were out doing patrols last year, and they did issue tickets to people who did not have an OFTR pass or an OFATV pass if they were on the trail.
I can also add that Protect 5, who does the patrolling for Renfrew County and the Algonquin Trail, when they gave us their report about all the stops they made and the citations they issued, several of the stops were on motorbike. So I guess Protect 5 is out there policing as well. Okay, so I think what I'm seeing is, because we had several options here how we're going to move forward, but I think what I'm hearing and seeing is that we would like staff to do a little bit of further research to ensure that we've got all the information from all sides of this before we make a final decision. Is that what I'm saying? Okay. I don't have that one written out, so it's just direction to staff to research off-road motorcycle use on municipal roads further. Okay. I need a motion for that then. Moved by Councillor Roots, seconded by Councillor Coutu. that staff be directed to research off-road motorcycle usage on municipal roads and return with a report. Okay. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. So thanks again. So staff has been directed to come back with a report, and you'll see it on an upcoming agenda. And if you wish to attend then and listen to our further debate and see that presentation, you're most welcome.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks. Okay, our next presentation is about the possibility of having a Petawawa Rotary Club peace pole placed on Civic Center grounds, and I'd like to welcome Enno Kirkhoff, member of the Petawawa Rotary Club, to give us a presentation on that possibility. Welcome, Enno.
Thank you, Mayor Service, Deputy Mayor Severin, members of council. As the Mayor said, my name is Enno Kirkhoff. I'm here representing the Petawawa Rotary Club. There's an initiative that we would like to put to council to seek your approval to put a small peace pole monument in the vicinity of the Civic Center. But I'll describe for you a little bit what is a peace pole. It's an international initiative that was begun back in 1955 in Japan. It's meant to symbolize peace, thought, word, and action, to cause people to pause and think about what peace means for them. They've been planted on every continent around the world. There's over 200,000 that have been put worldwide, and including a number planted here in Renfrew County by the various members of the Rotary clubs in the vicinity. Ours is made of recycled PVC. It's about 4 feet tall, and it's inscribed with the words in English, French, and Algonquin of "May peace prevail on earth." And it is designed to be relevant to the people in that community. Other communities have chosen different languages that represent either the people that live in that community or people who come to visit there. But in this case, ours was chosen for English, French, and Algonquin. And I should go back. There's an example of what one of the peace poles looks like. That is not ours in particular. That's one that's already in place. The proposed location that we have for it is across the Civic Center parking lot from the Civic Center itself, next to the existing peacekeeping monument. We thought that it was aligned in terms of theme that would cause people to think about peace when they go by there. And it also has high traffic because of the park that's there and a lot of people using the facilities. So we thought that it would be a good prominent location that would prompt people to pause while they were there. We're not intending for it to take away in any way from the existing peacekeeping monument. We want it to complement what's already there. The concept of the presentation is very flexible. What we would like to do is propose to council that the Petawawa Rotary Club would contribute $3,000 towards the landscaping and the installation of the peace pole, so that it forms part of the existing park that's there. The timing for the unveiling would depend heavily on when the landscaping could be done. Clearly, it's not suitable to do in this kind of weather. But one idea that we would propose is that it would align with the International Day of Peace, which is the 21st of September. And the scale of the presentation can vary widely. We are willing to go with what would be suitable in the opinion and based on the advice of town council and staff. It could be quite modest, but we want to make sure that we're engaging with the local community such that it's representative of what the local community would want. And again, we would lean on the expertise of council and staff to help guide us in that. The photo on the slide is an example of what I would consider a large and robust presentation that was done in Sudbury as part of an existing park there. At the end of the day, the Petawawa Rotary Club is happy to contribute to the town of Petawawa. We want the opportunity to give back, and we think that this is something that would be complementary to the existing park. We would like to collaborate with council and staff to make sure that the presentation, both in terms of the installation itself, and then when the unveiling is done, to make sure that it's appropriate and representative of the town and the community. And thank you for continuing to support the Petawawa Rotary Club and the things that we do for the town and for all the town members.
Okay, thank you very much, Enno, for coming and representing the club and giving us this presentation and proposing this idea. I'll open it up to council. Councilor Roots.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for the presentation. I think for sure that this would definitely enhance and complement what's already there. I think the location is perfect. I think more than ever, we need a peaceful in this world, so thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rees.
Deputy Mayor Simon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much for the presentation. I completely support Make Peace Prevail on Earth is a thing we need to say over and over again in times of such unrest and such challenge. And again, I think the proposed location is very suitable. Appreciate that you came with a contribution of cash in hand. That's always easy to support when it aligns with the town. And yeah, I can't see why it's not a good idea. So thanks very much.
Thank you.
Councillor Kern.
Thank you, Mayor Silvers. Thanks, Eva, for coming to speak to us tonight and bringing this concept forward. It's something certainly that I'll support wholeheartedly. And thank you very much to the Rotary Club, too, for all the other initiatives that we've done over the years and the ones that you have forthcoming. So they're all very good causes. Thank you.
Councillor Kutu.
Thank you, Mayor Service. Certainly, I think you see Rotary's touch everywhere throughout the town. So this will be another amazing example of Rotary's contribution to the town. And I just wanted to say I certainly support it. And given that so many of our residents are employed at the garrison, they're facing the hazards of war, I think it's beautiful to put that statement out there and to plant it in the ground. So thank you, definitely support.
Thank you, Councillor Kutu.
Further questions or comments? I guess one question that may pop up if this is approved and it gets closer is the $3,000 donation. I guess I'm just going to make a statement and you can agree or disagree that the Rotary Club will keep the construction and presentation within their $3,000 means and not seek funding from elsewhere.
That is absolutely the intent. We're not intending for this to grow. The $3,000 is intended to support both the installation of it itself and the presentation of the money. This is not intended to grow beyond those means, and we certainly would not seek funding from elsewhere.
And just one further question in terms of, since there is the Algonquin language on the poll, the Rotary Club of Petawawa is intending to consult with the local indigenous group.
We absolutely are. We want to make sure that it's done in consultation and that it's respectful of the communities that are represented on the peace poll.
Perfect. Further questions or comments? The motion is the council approves the request from the Petawawa Rotary Club to install a Rotary peace pole in the park across from the Petawawa Civic Center, Petawawa Public Library, subject to the Rotary Club contributing $3,000 for landscaping and the placement of the peace pole on the site. Moved by Deputy Mayor Stafford, seconded by Councillor Donovan. I don't need to read that. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. Thank you very much again, and I bet you can't wait to report back to the Rotary.
Can't wait.
I think there's a meeting tomorrow. For those of you who have joined us today, we are carrying on with many and more exciting topics and bylaws. You are most welcome to stay and witness that excitement, or you can quietly slink out of the council chamber. We will not hold that against you.
Please stay.
Everybody does.
Okay, next we'll go to bylaws. First up, bylaw 1821/26, being a bylaw to appoint a compliance audit committee for the 2026 municipal election. I need a motion for the first and second readings. Moved by Deputy Mayor Stafford, second by Councillor Carmody, that bylaw 1821/26, being a bylaw to appoint a compliance audit committee for the 2026 municipal election, be read a first and second time. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried.
Corporation of the Town of Petawawa, bylaw 1821/26, being a bylaw to appoint a compliance audit committee for the 2026 municipal election, being read first and second time the 16th day of March 2026.
I need a motion for third and final reading of bylaw 1821/26. Moved by Councillor Roots, second by Councillor Coutu, that bylaw 1821/26 be read a third and final time and passed. Any questions or concerns on the bylaw? I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried.
Corporation of the Town of Petawawa bylaw 1821-26, being a bylaw to appoint a compliance audit committee for the 2026 municipal election, be read a third time and passed. This constitutes third and final reading of bylaw 1821-26, the 16th day of March 2026.
Next, we have bylaw 1822/26, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 1788/25, being a bylaw to appoint municipal law enforcement officers for the town of Petawawa. I need a motion for a first and second reading. Moved by Councillor Driscoll, seconded by Councillor Donovan, that bylaw 1822/26, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 1788/25, being a bylaw to appoint municipal law enforcement officers for the town of Petawawa, be read a first and second time. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried.
Corporation of the Town of Petawawa bylaw 1822-26, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 1788-25, being a bylaw to appoint municipal law enforcement officers for the town of Petawawa, be read first and second time, the 16th day of March 2026.
I need a motion for third and final reading of bylaw 1822/26. Moved by Councillor Carmody, seconded by Councillor Coutu, that bylaw 1822/26 be read a third and final time and passed. Any questions, concerns on the bylaw? So this is to appoint Alex Provo as an employee of Municipal Law Enforcement Services. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried.
Corporation of the Town of Petawawa bylaw 1822-26, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 1788-25, being a bylaw to appoint municipal law enforcement officers for the town of Petawawa, be read a third time and passed. This constitutes third and final reading of bylaw 1822-26, the 16th day of March 2026.
Okay, moving on to correspondence. We have a correspondence here from about Ontario's transition of the municipal blue box recycling program to extended producer responsibility, and it's from the Ottawa Valley Waste Management Board to our MPP, Billy Deneau. So hopefully you had a chance to look this over. It's quite a lengthy letter outlining a lot of the concerns about the rollout of the new program. And I'm sure most of you, as well as our residents, have experienced a lot of these same concerns. And the Ottawa Valley Waste Recovery Board thought it was prudent to bring these concerns forward to our MPP and just to let everybody know really that maybe it wasn't rolled out in best fashion and manner. And I know that this is just speaking from personal experience with the plastics and when they were supposed to be put out and what they were supposed to be put out with, and the list of collectibles was different in different areas. So I think it's good that these concerns are out there and just to let everybody know. Are there any questions or comments about correspondence? Okay, then we'll receive that as information. Next, we have some minutes. First, we have the council and committee meeting minutes of March 9th, 2026. I need a motion to accept those minutes. Moved by Deputy Mayor Savard, seconded by Councillor Roots, that the minutes of the council and committee meeting held on March 9th, 2026 be accepted by council, and that resolutions from that committee become resolutions of council. Questions, concerns on the minutes? I'll call for the vote. All in favor? That's carried. Next, we have minutes from the Petawawa Business Advisory Network of February 3rd, 2026. I need a motion to approve those minutes. Moved by Councillor Driscoll, seconded by Councillor Roots, that the minutes of the Petawawa Business Advisory Network meeting held on February 3rd, 2026 be adopted as information. Councillor Driscoll.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I spoke to most of these. One thing I forgot in my last councillor report was the Roman refill water bottle. So the town has these bottles that we can buy, and then each store location has a sticker that you can essentially fill the water bottles. So let's try to promote people to go to all different businesses and stuff for the community.
Thank you. Questions on the minutes? Where do individuals purchase these bottles if they wish to purchase them?
I've been calling Coyle selling about the Civic Center. If you have any left.
Okay. Any further questions or comments? Then I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. Okay, we'll go to staff reports. First, we have PW-07-2026, award of tender PW-01-2026, concrete works. Chris?
Thank you, Mayor Service. Good evening, members of council. All right, staff are recommending that council approves the award of tender PW-01-2026 concrete works to the lowest bidder being Bonashare Excavating Incorporated in the amount of $161,930 plus HST. This tender was prepared and advertised on our website and social media pages. 8 firms requested tender packages and 3 firms submitted complete tender packages on the closing date of March 9th, 2026 at 10 a.m. The bids are before you. Bonashare Excavating at $161,930. Greenwood Paving Pembroke Limited, $178,960. And McCray Excavating Limited, $181,850. The funding for this tender is included in the approved 2026 budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. I should have mentioned you are the Director of Public Works also.
That's okay.
Are there any questions or concerns? Deputy Mayor Sutton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Chris, not a fair question maybe to you now, but you can always send me an email. Do you have an idea what the 2025 cost for the concrete works was? Like, are we much higher, or are we around the same ballpark, if you can remember that?
I can certainly comment on that. Teddy and I met today to talk about the unit rates that we're seeing from 2025 to 2026. They're very close in the bids, so they're really, I think overall we did really well with the maintenance tenders this year. The costs are good. For example, just shooting one out there for you, for resurfacing last year we had $110 per ton, and this year for our Black Bay Road project we got $106.91. So pretty close unit rates that we're seeing from year to year.
Thank you.
And I guess just to follow up on that, I guess the total cost would depend on what works we're proposing each year.
Yes, correct. So when you see $161,930, what we do in the tender is we give certain estimates of what we think we're going to do as far as sidewalk repairs, curb and gutter repairs, and basically we have different measurements and they bid on each of those. So when you see the total bid, like we have $145,000 within the budget. This is actually more. The cost is more than what's in the budget, but we also have to keep in mind there's a lot of civic properties maintenance budgets that we may need to do some concrete works in. So I think we're right where we want to be as far as the total cost.
Further questions? Then I need a motion. Moved by Deputy Mayor Sadler, seconded by Councilor Roots. The council approves the award of tender PW-01-2026 concrete works to the lowest bidder being Bonashare Excavating Incorporated in the amount of $161,930 plus HST. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. Next, we have PW-08-2026 award of tender PW-02-2026 hot mix asphalt patching. Chris?
Okay, staff are recommending again that council approves the award of tender PW-02-2026 hot mix asphalt patching to the lowest bidder being Bonashare Excavating Incorporated in the amount of $105,164.50 plus HST. The tender was prepared and advertised on our website and social media pages. 4 firms requested tender packages and 3 firms submitted complete tender packages on the closing date of March 9th, 2026 at 10 a.m. The bids were Bonashare Excavating Inc. at $105,164.50, McCray Excavating Limited $133,100, and Greenwood Paving Pembroke Limited at $142,775. The funding for this tender was included in the approved 2026 budget. I'll turn it over to council.
Questions on the report? The successful bid was quite a bit lower. And so that's good to see. Okay, if you're comfortable, I need a motion. Moved by Councilor Carmody, seconded by Councilor Donovan. The council approves the award of tender PW-02-2026 hot mix asphalt patching to the lowest bidder being Bonashare Excavating Incorporated in the amount of $105,164.50 plus HST. Call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. Next, PW-09-2026, award of tender. PW-03-2026, hot mix asphalt resurfacing. Chris?
Right, staff are recommending that council approves the award of tender PW03-2026 hot mix asphalt resurfacing to the lowest bidder being Bonashare Excavating Incorporated in the amount of $244,716.34 plus HST. This tender was prepared and advertised on our website and social media pages. 5 firms requested tender packages and 4 firms submitted completed tender packages on the closing date of March 9, 2026 at 10 a.m. The bids are as follows: Bonashare Excavating Inc. $244,716.34. Greenwood Paving Pembroke Limited, $261,710. Thomas Cavanaugh Construction Limited, $332,092.52. And McRae Excavating Limited at $343,717. This tender includes road resurfacing projects for Wilbert Street and Black Bay Road. And the funding for this tender was included in the approved 2026 budget.
Thank you, Chris. Questions on the report? I'm wondering if the recent events in the world, which are causing oil prices to rise, had any effect on the bids for this?
I think for these tenders, we were, luckily we had them closed and the results back before, the oil prices have gone through the roof. But as I was mentioning to Mayor Service before the meeting, we may see some of those cost results come into play with our Portage Road tender closing. But for these ones, we're okay.
Yeah, we're in.
Okay, you're comfortable, I need a motion. Moved by Councillor Roots, seconded by Councillor Driscoll. The council approves the award of tender PW-03-2026 hot mix asphalt resurfacing to the lowest bidder being Bonashare Excavating Incorporated in the amount of $244,716.34 plus HST. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. A hat trick for BEI.
Thanks, Chris.
Welcome.
Okay, that brings us to councilor reports. Deputy Mayor Simon.
Oh goodness, I'm going to have to defer to the next time I can speak because in my head, I still thought we had another meeting and I'm wrong. So lucky everybody.
Plus you're on holidays, we're not going to hear from you for another month. Councilor Kernan.
Thank you, Mayor Service. I can report that on Friday, March 6th, I attended the employee appreciation dinner or luncheon, I should say, for the employees of the town of Petawawa. And on Monday, March 9th, I attended the interviews for the position of detachment commander for Ottawa Valley Loki.
Thank you. Councilor Christie.
Thank you, Mayor Service. On March 6th, I attended the Employee Appreciation Day event and the Service Award. I was amazed at how many long-term employees there are in the town. It was a really great event. And on March 9th, I attended Petawawa Economic Development Business Networking event at Ottawa Valley Coffee. And it was just a fantastic time. We had a lot of great entrepreneurs and professionals in town, and they were really brought together in a great way. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Driscoll.
Mayor Service, last night we held a hockey game between the fire department and the U18 team as kind of a build on our fundraiser for the outdoor rink. It was really great attended. We had over 150 people there. The fire department won, which was the best part. We collected just over $1,600 in donations last night, which brings our total collected so far to over $5,100. So I appreciate everyone who's contributed so far, and we will keep going. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilor Gunn.
Thank you, Mayor Service. I as well, on the 6th of March, attended the employee recognition event that we had hosted. Good turnout, everybody was there, food was fabulous. It was great to see people recognized in front of their chairs. On the 12th, I attended a online outreach meeting, which is part of the goals that we set for the Seniors Advisory Committee. So we have to get to work on to that. And I think that's it.
Thank you, Councilor Ruth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. March 3rd, I attended a PBAN meeting, and topics at this meeting were recurring business and town discussions, business opening milestones and some celebrations. Friday, March 6th, I attended also the Town Staff Appreciation and Service Award Luncheon. And today, all council members were sent the email from the CAO in regards to a report from the Airport Commission for the 2025 year in review. It was definitely a very productive and strong year at the airport. So if any council members have any questions, please reach out to me, and I'll be more glad to make things a little bit more clear if need be. Thank you.
Thank you. On March 2nd, I attended the County Intermunicipal Relations meeting with between Renfrew County and the City of Pembroke. On the 3rd, along with Deputy Mayor Safford, Councillor Carmody, Councillor Driscoll, we were at Ballard High School for their civics classes. It was great to share a room with Deputy Mayor Safford. We took on 2 classes, and Councillor Carmody and Councillor Driscoll had 2 classes of their own as well. So it was great to inform all of those grade 10 students about municipal politics. And the kids were great and had a lot of good questions. On the 4th, myself and the CAO had a meeting with Infrastructure Ontario. Also on the 4th, the CAO and myself had a meeting with a company, I guess I can say biomass company, for a potential project here in Petawawa. On the 5th, the evening of the 5th, I attended a Garrison Mess dinner. On the 6th, along with all the other councillors, I was at the Employee Appreciation event, which was always a great event. On the 9th, I participated in the official tip-off for the Office of Basketball, senior boys basketball, which was held at Fellows was the host, but Ballard High School hosted quite a few of the games as well. On the 10th, there was a meeting for the Algonquin Forest LCC. On the 12th, was a county council meeting that was postponed due to bad weather on the 11th, so we held it on Thursday the 12th. And the CAO on that day as well, we also had a meeting with members of the Office of the Prime Minister to discuss filth. And on the 15th, which was yesterday, I participated in the hockey game put on by Councillor Driscoll in the fire department. I was an honorary member of the fire department team for one day, and I didn't need to be stretchered off or ambulanced out of the area. And as Councillor Driscoll said, we were victorious over the young lads. And big thanks and congratulations to Councillor Driscoll and his team for putting this initiative forward and raising all those funds for the outdoor event. Okay, next I need a motion to go in close. Moved by Councillor Couture, seconded by Councillor Carmody, that the meeting be closed pursuant to section 239, paragraph 2, paragraph C of the Municipal Act 2001, S.O.2001, C.25 as amended, to discuss a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board regarding a potential purchase of land by the town of Petawawa. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried. We're in closed. Okay, welcome back. Council has just returned from a closed meeting. Council discussed a potential purchase of land by the town of Petawawa. Direction was given to the chief administrative officer. There is nothing further to report. I need a motion for the confirming bylaw. Moved by Councilor Root, seconded by Councilor Donovan, that bylaw 1823/26 be read a first, second, and third time and passed. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried.
Appropriation of the town of Petawawa, bylaw 1823/26, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting held on March 16th, 2026, be read first, second, and third time and passed. This constitutes first, second, and third reading short of bylaw 1823/26, the 16th day of March, 2026.
I need a motion to adjourn. Moved by Councilor Coutu, seconded by Councilor Carmody, that the meeting adjourn to the call of the mayor. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? It's carried.